For the first time, Canada's top intelligence agency, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, or CSIS, has officially acknowledged that Khalistani extremists are operating from Canadian soil, using it to promote their ideology, raise funds, and plan acts of violence in India. This revelation comes from CSIS's latest annual report, released on Wednesday, which outlines major threats to national security. The report states clearly, Khalistani extremists continue to use Canada as a base for the promotion, fundraising, or planning of violence primarily in India. India has long raised concerns about this issue, but Canada had largely stayed silent, until now. The report confirms that anti-India elements have found a safe haven in Canada, validating years of Indian warnings. This disclosure comes just one day after a diplomatic breakthrough between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Canadian counterpart Mark Carney. At the G7 summit in Alberta, both leaders agreed to take measured steps to restore normalcy in their strained relationship, starting with the reinstatement of high commissioners in each other's capitals. The report highlights that politically motivated violent extremism in Canada has largely been driven by Canada-based Khalistani extremists since the mid-1980s. These groups seek to establish an independent state of Khalistan, primarily within India's Punjab region. CSIS notes that even a small number of individuals pose a significant concern due to their continued activity from Canadian territory. It also warns that the presence of Khalistani extremists in Canada has fueled Indian efforts at foreign interference, attempting to influence Canadian policies and public opinion on this sensitive issue. This new report has reignited debate around foreign interference and extremism in Canada, especially as the country navigates a delicate diplomatic path with India. Tensions between the two nations spiked in 2023, after former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau alleged credible links between the Indian government and the assassination of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a designated Khalistani terrorist, who was shot outside a Gurdwara in Surrey, British Columbia. India strongly denied the allegations, calling them absurd and politically motivated, while criticizing Canada for giving space to extremist groups. Following the fallout, India withdrew 6 diplomats after they were named persons of interest in Canada's investigation into Nijjar's death. The CSIS report describes the Nijjar killing as a potential sign of India's willingness to act beyond its borders in response to Khalistani threats. It states, real and perceived Khalistani extremism emerging from Canada continues to drive Indian foreign interference activities in Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney has faced criticism, both from within his party and among Sikh advocacy groups, for inviting Prime Minister Modi to the G7. But he defended the decision, pointing to India's critical role in global affairs as the world's most populous country and 4th largest economy.